Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. This event, you know, Long Green Line has to start somewhere, and it starts here. Coach Castor loves putting on this event every year here at Dwyer Field. They love to get all these kids, all the publicity. You know, we get the ICRC coming out with the game. We got the PA announcers, everything going. Playing the Cincinnati Raiders, and I believe 15 of the 16 games this weekend slated up here. And the Raiders in this one in the K through 1. Coach Campbell's team, Raiders already on top.
Yeah, absolutely. Cincinnati getting it started with a rushing touchdown. As the two-point conversion is going to fall short of the goal line, so the Comets.
The two-point conversion is no good. It's going to be Comet football.
I believe we'll stay at 6-0 as we roll down to the 11-minute mark in this first half. Of course, 2 running clock halves at the Grimes Bowl, 22 minutes. As the Comets offense now will try and answer back.
Yeah, when you're playing youth football, those you don't get a lot of kids kicking field goals and extra points. So those conversions are big. And I believe in youth football it's flipped. A traditional two-point conversion is for 1 point, and a field or extra point traditionally. And youth football is worth 2 points. So going for that 1 point there, those can be big. You know, once you get up to, 22 minutes, not very long halves when you think about running clock, and they chewed a lot of clock. Cincinnati did on that. 12 minutes already off the clock, as you said, 22-minute running halves, and 10 minutes left here for the Comets to try to tie it up before half.
And we'll see if the Comets can do just that as they head out onto the field for their first offensive possession against the Raiders. Got William Johnson in the backfield. Made a couple key tackles defensively on that first drive.
Yeah, a lot of these players, a lot of these players play it both ways today, both for the Comets and the Raiders. William Johnson, one of them.
Looked like a quarterback draw there, and the Raiders snuffed that one out with ease. That's going to be a loss of a couple yards there for the Comets.
It's going to be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to do a couple of fake handoffs and then kind of an end around with the quarterback there. Not going anywhere, though. The front line of Cincinnati was holding too strong.
That was Isaiah Wyatt on the carry. He was brought down a couple yards short of the line of scrimmage. The Comets will go to work from the 33.
All possessions in youth football do start at the 35-yard line. At the 33 now, couple yards lost there. 2nd and 12.
Couldn't have asked for better weather for this event. Sunny out with a nice breeze rolling through here early in the morning. As the Comets set up offensively.
Looks like they're going with a little bit of a wishbone package, or wing tee at least.
Another quarterback draw, and the Raiders were ready for it again. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 12 after the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Wyatt again. Got both of those.
No gain on the play.
runs.
It'll be 3rd and 12.
And they're not getting anywhere. Cincinnati Raiders defensive line so far. They haven't even needed their linebackers or defensive backs or anything the first couple of plays.
Comets huddling up. William Johnson, Carson Brock, Isaiah Wyatt, along with Michael Stapleton.
It does look like a wing tee package. 2 backs in the backfield, and then you got a wing and a wide receiver all the way out wide.
That's Johnson around the outside. He got a little bit of space, but he's brought down. That tackle saves a big gain there, and it's going to be 4th
William
down
Johnson takes it
and
for a
long
large
for the
gain, but
Comets.
that's not going to be enough for the 1st down.
Johnson
It'll be around
gets about
4th and
3
9.
or 4 on that carry.
Yeah, the yards after contact there from Johnson, really impressive from a guy at this young age. Looks like he got stopped for a second right at the line of scrimmage, was able to sneak it past off the tackle and gain a few yards from it. Comets setting up now for a 4th down. Just like those extra point attempts, there's not a lot of punts in youth football, so all 4th downs are going to go for.
Comets drive stalled there. Brought down at the line of scrimmage once again. And possession will flip to the Cincinnati Raiders.
The Comets cannot convert on 4th down, so it's going to be Cincinnati Raiders ball.
Where you are on the field is very important in these youth games. Like I said, there's no punting. So teams are really, it's a whole different ball game when there's no punting and there's no field goals. Even getting on the other side of the field, getting on the opponent's side of the field can be big to kind of help your defense out for the next possession. Raiders will take over now with pretty good field position.
Comets looking to get a stop defensively here. Unable to match the Raiders on their first offensive possession. Cincinnati will try to double up on that lead.
They chewed a lot of clock there on their first possession. If they can score 2 before halftime, with their abilities to kind of just keep pounding to get 5 minutes 10 yards
in the first half.
Every play, that can be big going into the second half.
About 4:40 to go in the first half of play. That one's going to be a handoff to the right side. The Comets defense was ready for that. Gain of about a yard.
A swarm of Comet defenders stops the Raiders from a 1-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
Great tackle there. It was really a team tackle, but Brock Carson was the one who started it, initiated it all as he comes up from the bottom of the pile.
Cincinnati's certainly taking their time offensively as we roll down under the 4-minute mark.
We haven't seen one pass attempt yet from either teams, K through 1. That's very rare. But I'd like to see if any of these teams are able to pull it off at least once this game.
Cincinnati attempting some
ball's on the
trickeration
ground,
there.
but the Raiders are able to recover. They are going to lose a yard in the effort, so it's going to be about
play
3rd and
there.
10.
As the ball hit the deck, Cincinnati able to retain possession. Loss of about a yard on that play. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Comets' defensive line is looking really good now. They've improving upon their first possession. And they really look like a whole different defensive unit from that first possession, as they're only 2 stops away from getting the ball back.
A little sweep, and the ball's on the ground again, recovered by the Raiders. Another miscue offensively.
Another loose ball for the Raiders.
And that's going to bring up 4th down and long.
Another yard, making it 4th and 12.
4th and 12 now for the Raiders. Going to be a difficult one. This is maybe one of those situations you see a pass, but like when it's K through 1, it does get a bit unlikely. I'd maybe look for a sweep, an end around, some trickery, anything of that nature.
Run to the outside, and he's got some space around the corner. Can he get to the 1st down marker? He will, and he's forced out of bounds. Not before he gains about 14 on that play.
The Raiders are able to convert
for the 1st down.
On 4th down with a 14-yard run.
Yeah, Wyatt was eventually able to get to him.
Stops
they
him out
had
of bounds.
decent pursuit from the defense. But like I expected, it was just
1
the
minute and
trickery.
45
All the
seconds
comments were going in
remaining
the
first
different
half.
direction after the fake handoff, as Wyatt's finally able to make the tackle after a good pursuit. But with 1:33 to go, the Raiders are threatening to score their second touchdown of the half.
Not a lot of time left, but Cincinnati in business. Close to the red zone at about the 22-yard line. About 1:10 remaining in the first half of play.
They were taking their time a lot earlier, but now they're looking to speed it up.
Another reverse.
It looked like the Mason defender wanted to take that himself. Got caught up between two players. Eventually the Raider was able to hang on. As you can see, the Raiders coach is unhappy about that one. Good defense. Good job by the defensive line for the Comets.
Cincinnati's going to spend a timeout with 47 seconds remaining.
A little bit of confusion on the field as the Raiders with a 3-yard loss on the play.
It's going to result in a loss of 3 yards. And I think what happened on that play is someone didn't understand the play right. Could be the reason for the frustration from the coaches. As the quarterback was looking to hand it off, and he just looked like he was in no man's land with no one around him. Eventually, one of the backs was able to see it, come by, make sure a Mason Comet defensive lineman didn't steal it.
Of course, with the time dwindling down to end the half, Cincinnati trying to get their best shot at the end zone before heading to the locker room.
With how slow they've been moving, they could probably only get 2 or 3 more plays.
There's going to be a flag on the play. It'll be a false start on Cincinnati.
There's a flag down on the play.
We're going to wait to see what the flag was, false start. It's going to move them back and definitely not going to help their chances.
5 yards.
As the clock does run on that, it is a running clock at all times. Most likely only see one more play. So just like that 4th and long they had earlier in the possession, you can expect to see some trickery or some sweep of some sort. Let's see if the Comets can learn from their mistakes and try to stop this one.
3 seconds remaining. They get the play off, and he's just going to run to the outside. He's got space, and he's going to get all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Cincinnati to cap off a dominant first half for the Raiders.
There is not a better way to end a half. Spectacular run, but also spectacular blocking, especially the 3 backs he had in front of him. I mean, it felt like he could drive a truck through that hole with the blockers from the Raiders, and they're going to have a chance to put themselves up 13 going into halftime.
Pending a conversion, Cincinnati up 12-0 on the K-1 Comets, as they'll try to stretch that lead out a little bit more here.
This is another big stop for the Comets. It's more difficult in these younger ages to get those 2 yards that you need to get that extra point. It's a little more difficult for these kids than it can be for the pros. You know, their strides aren't as long.
As there's going to be a flag on the play. The Raiders were stopped short.
For the Raiders.
It's going to be a false start on the offense, so they'll replay the down.
Couple of miscues for the Raiders, but it's proved not to damage them too much. Let's see what kind of effect that has here. Looks like they're going to have 7 yards to gain to get to that extra point.
Here comes the conversion attempt. There's going to be a pass attempt, and it's incomplete. Nearly A successful
The Raiders
conversion
looking
there
towards
from the
right
Raiders
end of the end
offense.
zone, but they cannot
But
convert
nothing
on the
doing, and we
pass.
will head to halftime
At halftime,
with the
it's gonna be
Cincinnati Raiders
12-0
holding a 12-0 lead over the
Raider
Mason
lead.
Comets.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
That leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood. Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is the Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports.
Three-pointer. Got it. In for the Comets score. Comets win! Yeah!
Welcome back to Dwyer Field in the 2021 Grimes Bowl. If you're just joining us, the Cincinnati Raiders K1 team has a 12-0 lead at the half over the Mason Comets. 2 rushing touchdowns from the Raiders and then 2 failed conversions have us here at the 12-0 score.
Yeah, both touchdowns, kind of a tale of 2 different stories. The first one, Cincinnati really milked their possession. They wasted, I think, 12 minutes off the clock, was able to score at the end, just kind of pounding 5 yards every single play. The second one was a little shaky. They didn't have as much time before halftime. That one only took about 5 minutes, and they were put in some pretty tough spots. 1 4th and 12, and they got the conversion, and then another one. They only had 3 seconds to snap the ball, and they were about 25 yards away, but were able to score on that play. And that's what has us here at 12-0, Cincinnati with the lead.
Yeah, long rushing touchdown at the end of the half for the Raiders, and now the Comets will go to work offensively and try to answer back and cut into this deficit.
Let's see what the Cincinnati Warriors defensive line could do. They've been solid all game.
Second half underway, and the Comets are going nowhere. A loss on the play. Cincinnati, their defense has been stellar all morning, and it continues into the second half on that play.
It's going to be 2nd and 12.
2nd and long now for the Comets offense.
Comets haven't had, a lot of plays. The time of the possession has been controlled easy by Cincinnati so far, at least in the first half. I think if Mason wants to come back in this game, that's going to be a stat that has to change and has to go Mason's way.
Comets setting up with Owen Wright in the backfield. Looking for the play. It's a handoff to William Johnson, and he's going nowhere. Another loss of yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Once again, the defense was right there. The defensive line for Cincinnati breaking through the Mason offensive line.
A loss of 4 for the Comets. It's going to be a 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15 coming up for Mason. A minute and a half into play here in the second half.
We did see 1 passing attempt in the first half, and that was kind of as the clock was winding down. Cincinnati tried to get one near the end zone, didn't end up mattering. It was incomplete. Mason's going to set up in their wing T offense again. Looks like Power is going to be to the right side with the tight end.
Up the middle, and he's off to the races. It's Isaiah Wyatt in the clear. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Comets.
Touchdown, Comets. Isaiah
and they
Wyatt
answer back and cut the lead in half.
That's big to only do that in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Now, they've got a lot of time to work with relative to what Cincinnati did last half. And Isaiah Wyatt, there was a lot of confusion in the defense there. Really good trickery, really good fake handoff. Got Wyatt all the way to the end zone.
Great play design there from the Comets as they cut into this deficit and get on the board quickly to begin the second half of play. And it's a whole new ball game now as they will attempt to tack another point onto their total.
Cincinnati hasn't been great at these so far, at least in the first half. Let's see if Mason can be better.
It'll be Wyatt again, up the middle. Did he get in? Some confusion from the officials here.
The 2-point conversion attempt is going to be no good. The Comets are stopped right in front of the goal
Comets
line.
are stopped short. And they will have to settle for the 6 points.
Cincinnati Raiders lead.
As now it'll be Cincinnati who takes the field and tries to extend their lead.
That's big for the momentum for these little kids. You know, they're playing with a lot of energy. That's where they get it. That's where they get a lot of their kind of passion from. You know, when you're playing football this young of an age, a lot of times it's you're growing up in a football family or anything of that nature. So a lot of these kids are going to have football in their lives for a while, at least from my experience. The kids who played early on were always the kids that lasted and really enjoyed it and wanted to play all the way up until high school, as I'm sure we're going to get a lot of these comments playing for the high school team here in about, let's see, would that be about 10 years? Wow.
Lots of these. Coach Kastner loves to come and get these young guys integrated in the program early on, get them used to what they like to do at the higher levels of the Mason football long green line. And it starts as early as kindergarten through first grade, and now Cincinnati huddling up to try and answer back.
Addison, did you play any youth football?
I was not a youth football person. I played a season of flag football, but I grew up playing fall baseball, and then, of course, in middle school, I went the cross-country route.
Understandable.
I was never really big enough for football, unfortunately.
6-12 now. Cincinnati trying to add some insurance. They're only up a touchdown. Starting their possession at the 35.
So go handoff to the outside. Didn't look like the handoff was completed, though, and they're going to be stopped short. Another loss forced by the Comets defense, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
What's really impressed me about this Mason defense so far is the swarm tackling and all 11 guys going to the ball once they see what's going on, once they see what's happening. That's something varsity Mason coach Brian Kastner really preaches, is all 11 guys going to the ball. And it worked to perfection there to bring up a 2nd and 12.
This past season, of course, the Comets had a very strong high school season at the GMC level, nearly capturing the regular season title. And that team was certainly built on a grit and grind defense.
You know, it was an interesting year last year. Only 6 regular season games, and it was all against conference teams. And Mason started that out 4-0. You know, things were looking bright for that team. You saw the talent and potential that they had. But then they ran into a very underrated Hamilton team. At Hamilton, weren't able to come on top.
And a handoff to the outside. And Isaiah Wyatt is the only man who has a shot to catch him. Inside the 10 and into the end zone for a Cincinnati touchdown. As they answer right back.
It's going to be another Cincinnati rushing touchdown as they extend their lead to 18-6.
I mean, this is the second time we've seen it. They score a touchdown because of the lead blocking. They got 3 or 4 guys out in front, not including the offensive line, that's able to get to that second level to those linebackers and those safeties. And after that, there's no one to catch him. So great blocking there from the Warriors. Good trickery as well. And like you said, Wyatt was the only one who could have caught him. And he put in a really good effort. He's a really fast kid. But that was just a tough position to be in.
Cincinnati showing the speed and athleticism they've got on their offense. 3 dynamic scoring touchdowns, as they'll now try to convert successfully for the first time and add an extra point to their total of 18.
They're 0 for 2 on those tries today. See if they can make it a 33% clip.
13:45 remaining in the second half.
Once again, though, they didn't milk a lot of time off the clock.
To the left side, he retreats, and the Comets are able to get him down at about the 12-yard line. A huge loss, and the Comets will take over possession.
10 yards behind the line.
Down 2 touchdowns with 13:15 remaining in the second half. And Ben, just as the Comets seemed like they were turning the momentum on its side, came out, started the second half with a quick touchdown. Their defense not able to help them out there. And Cincinnati strikes back immediately, and now the momentum back on the side of the Raiders.
Yeah, well, the great thing about youth football is you got a lot of guys playing both ways. So you get scored on, you can kind of take that personally. And, you know, in professional and high school, college football, all these levels, you don't have guys playing both ways. And a lot of times it's like the offense is doing everything, putting all the effort in. And, you know, sometimes you just can't get the help you need from the defense. But if you're at the youth level, you can kind of control both sides. And Mason showing some potential on offense, just got to pick up the defense a little bit. But Cincinnati's shown a heck of a lot for a K through first grade team offensively.
Clock stopped at 12:37 as the Comets try to sort things out offensively, needing a touchdown here to keep themselves in the game.
You know, 12 minutes sounds like a lot. That's about your average quarter for a high school football game, but these clocks run way different than any other level. Running clock, even under a minute. A lot of times you see there'll be stoppages under a minute, but no, it's running the whole time. So 12:37 will be all the Comets have to try to at least tie the game up, get a couple more touchdowns.
Looked like a quarterback draw there. Some confusion on the field. And a 1-yard loss from the Comets there. It'll be 2nd and 11.
That's going to be 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
.12:20 remaining. And the ball's on the ground.
Looks like it was a bad snap.
It's recovered by the Cincinnati Raiders. A turnover from the Comets. And Cincinnati's going to take over possession.
It's going to be recovered.
It's now what you need if you're the Comets. You're trying to come back into a game. You don't have a whole lot of time left.
They're going to get possession.
That's why it just wasn't able
at the 33-yard line
to fully recover it before it hits the ground.
We've seen that a couple times in this game where the quarterbacks have had problems fielding the snap from the center, but it hasn't resulted in a change of possession, and that's the first time we see it in this game. And it puts the Comets in a tough spot now with time winding down 2 touchdowns, needing to get a defensive stop right here.
See if Cincinnati tries to go back to that old strategy of milking clock. But on the last possession, I'm not sure it was, you know, an intentional hurry up. But it's just they found a lane, they had the lead blockers, and you know, you're not gonna pass up on an opportunity like that to score. There's going to be a penalty.
Flag on the play. See what the call is. Looks to be a delay of game or a false start. It's going to be on the offense.
Looks like there's going to be a penalty flag on the play.
It's going to push him back
the
5.
Raiders are going to move back 5 yards.
It's going to make it 1st and 15 now.
You know, if you're Cincinnati, you don't really mind that too much. It helps you milk clock a little bit. Only 5 yards, not too much damage. Still first down, 1st and 15. And you get a fresh play clock.
Two-man backfield for Cincinnati.
Looks like they're at threat of another offensive penalty. Just barely getting off the field is the 12th man for Cincinnati.
They get the snap off. It's going to be a handoff to the right side, and the Comets defense was ready for that one. Driven back and brought down.
Braxton Meager with a big defensive stop for the Comets.
Just busting right through the offensive line.
As he's gonna
using his size,
2-yard loss.
has his advantage, and then a perfect tackle to bring him down. Perfectly executed defensive play there for Braxton Meager. Maybe we see some potential for Coach Setti and his defensive line in Meager.
$9:10 remaining. 18-6 the lead for the Raiders. In a big hole here on 3rd down. Another handoff. And snuffed out again by the Comets defense. So that'll move to 4th down and long.
William Johnson.
How about William Johnson? He's been everywhere today. He's kind of playing the linebacker safety hybrid position that they love to play at that youth level. And with those guys, you always want someone who's flying around, who'll be at the ball no matter where it is. It can be there at any level, and that's exactly what Johnson has done today. And it results in a long 4th down here for the Raiders. But you know, these kind of positions is where they've been thriving today. When they need those big plays, they're getting them. 8:11 to go.
Quarterback draw to the outside. Tries to get to the sideline, and there he goes down the sideline. Isaiah Wyatt in pursuit, and he can't force him out of bounds. It's a Raider touchdown.
That speaks to the
Raiders
resilience,
convert on 4th down as they
the
take
hard
it to
work
the house.
of these kids on the Cincinnati
Their
side.
4th touchdown of the game.
When their backs are against the
Extending
wall,
their lead
is when they're really
24-6.
coming out of their shells and busting out these big plays. A lot of great blocking here. And once he gets to the outside, it looked like Wyatt may have had a chance, but he couldn't hang on to make the tackle. Good pursuit from Wyatt. Able to grab him a little bit, but not quite in position to make a great tackle.
And the lead now up to 18, 24-6 with 7 minutes remaining.
You know, you never say die, but Comets 3 touchdowns down now.
6:40 remaining. We'll see if Cincinnati can. It's some confusion. Trying to hit the corner. And that's William Johnson on the outside making the touchdown saving tackle. But there is a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold on the offense. And that penalty is
There's
going to be declined.
a flag on the play, but it's going to be a hold.
A good job for Mason kind of drawing that hold. They looked like they had the ball snuffed out right away and kind of forcing the Raiders to do a little extra. And luckily the refs were able to see that one. 2-point conversion, no good. Comets now down 3 touchdowns with less than 6 minutes left. Let's see what they can draw up, if anything.
A little bit of a broken play there by Cincinnati that the Comets were able to take advantage of, and now they have to go to work offensively and attempt to cut into this deficit with little time remaining.
It's going to be Comet football with 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the game.
There's a flag on the play.
Looks like a unanimous decision. Couple of referees throwing their flags right away. Something they both saw. I think it was an offsides on the defense. It's going to move Mason up 5 yards.
Looks like it's going to be offsides by the Raiders.
Break for the Comets as we roll under 5 minutes remaining
for the Comets
in the second half of play.
At this point in the game, it's like Mason really just wants to work on their offense, kind of fine-tune some things.
A run to the outside, and Isaiah Wyatt is in the clear. One man in pursuit. Can he catch him? No, he cannot. Touchdown, Comets. Isaiah Wyatt on the board again.
Another huge run. As he's going to put 6 more points on the board for the Comets, closing the gap to 12
What a run
points.
by Wyatt. We've seen a couple of those from him, breaking out. And he's using his speed, but he's also using his power. As there was just trickery on that one, pure trickery. And Wyatt kind of reminds you of a young Nolan McCormick or maybe a Matt Sora. I'm sure he has a bright future here with the Comets.
Plenty of talented Comet running backs that have come through the ranks and done great things at the high school level. As it looks like the Comets are going to try things from the 7-yard line. .401 remaining.
I believe you get extra points. I believe it's 2 if you go from the 7-yard line.
Comets are going to attempt that right here. Of course, not a lot of time remaining. Comets still showing some fight.
Well, they're playing hard, and that speaks to kind of the hard work of these Mason Comets team. Coach Campbell's got a really good group of guys. You know, the result so far hasn't been exactly what they wanted, but I'm sure Campbell will be happy with the effort they've shown. As there's another mental mistake, going to be a false start on the Comets.
It's going to be a false start for the Comets.
That'll move them back even further. Now they have to decide whether or not they're going to go for the 1 from the 7 or the 2 from the 12, and it looks like they will go for the 2.
Making it a little tougher on themselves.
Wide under center.
Wyatt's done a really good job at quarterback this game. He's got a couple touchdowns, but there's another miscue.
Ball is loose on the ground, recovered by the Comets. Nothing doing there. Cincinnati gets the stop on the conversion.
On the 2-point conversion.
So a couple of miscues on the snap.
For the Raiders.
It's going to lead to an incompletion
3 minutes
on a
and
couple
50
of extra
seconds
points
remaining
from
in
the
the
Comets. So they 24-12 lead now for Cincinnati. As they're probably going to look to just, you know, clean up some things, work on a couple of plays, and kind of maybe hold the ball a little bit. No need to rush anything with the running clock here, under 3:30 to go.
Of course, we talked about earlier the amazing conditions that we've had for this game. Not too hot, good breeze. The sun is out for these players. This is an event that a lot of these players have probably looked forward to for a long time, the opportunity to play their first game of the season in front of their families on a TV broadcast crew like ICRC, giving them that opportunity to do that. Really cool experience that these players get annually here at the Grimes Bowl.
Yeah, speaking from experience, it's really cool to just kind of feel like you're playing for a bigger team, feeling like you're an older guy, getting all the attention, playing on the high school field. Something you think about for a while.
Cincinnati looking to get on the board once again. The Comets get the stop defensively. That run was snuffed out for a loss of yards.
1 yard behind the line.
It'll be second and long.
Second and 11 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game.
Yeah, really no sense of urgency here for the Raiders to pull something off. Maybe get some other guys who weren't playing as much earlier some playing time here.
A little handoff to the right side. The Comets defense was ready for that one, and there's a flag on the play. Tried a little bit of misdirection there, as there's going to be a hold
Johnson and
on the Raiders.
Meager take down.
We've now seen a couple holds from the Raiders. And that one almost looked like it wasn't needed at all. It came late, and I think I saw where it happened. It was after the play. They're going to decline the penalty anyway.
So Johnson and Meager pick up the team tackle there.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 as we roll down close to the 1 minute mark here in game 1 of this 2021 Grimes Bowl event.
Meager and Johnson were the two on the team tackle there, and that's a dynamic duo we've seen all day for this Comets team, flying everywhere. We're under a minute to go, as it looks like the Raiders are kind of approaching the play clock, so they want to try to get it off.
A fumble by the Raiders. Who's it recovered by? A scrum, and it's going to be recovered by the Comets.
Carson Brock forces the fumble.
So a forced turnover.
It's going to be recovered by the Comets.
By the Comets defense, and they'll take over.
25
the
seconds
clock
left.
rolls down.
Carson Brock played that defensive end position perfectly. Came up, played safety on his side, and when he saw the runner coming to his side, made the perfect angle, knocked the ball out too. Perfect play.
Able
Raiders
to force
recover,
that
though.
turnover. Can the Comets get one more play off? They will. It's a handoff or quarterback draw to Isaiah Wyatt, and that's going to do it as the Cincinnati Raiders come to Dwyer Field and defeat the Mason Comets 24-12
of the Grimes Bowl.
in game 1 and day 1 of the Grimes Bowl.
Saw a lot of potential on both sides, a lot of potential Comets. It's just the start of a great event here all weekend long here at the Grimes Bowl. I'm Ben Haller.
And I'm Addison Lenhart. A great day of football as the Cincinnati Raiders defeat the Mason Comets 24-12.